My video is entitled Why I Used to Sell for the Friend Zone. This is Jason from Memphis, 43-year-old single white male, divorced for 8 years. I am and was a very shy person when I was growing up, all the way through junior high and high school. While I was very talkative in elementary school, I spent a year in a Christian academy during middle school, and when I returned to junior high, the dynamics had changed between girls and guys, and suddenly everything was strange, much more emotionally charged, and of course, while the girls I went to 7th grade uh, at the Christian academy with, it was only a 20 student class that I went to the 7th grade with, so about 10 girls, while they were more demure and less confrontational and whatnot. Suddenly I was thrust into a whole arena full of girls that were feeling their oats and not shy about making their perceptions and assessments known about the boys they were confronted with. Not to mention the competition among the boys jockeying for popularity and status, and me being chubby at the time, not quite as big as I am now, made things only worse. I wasn't a jock. I'd gone to a Christian academy, so I was no longer hanging around with the boys that I had hung around with in elementary school, who had since gone on to turn into kind of a tougher crowd, and they had moved on from friendships with me in the year that I was gone off to the academy. Um, so the dynamics changed, and I withdrew. The more static and bullying and everything I received, the more I withdrew. So, that being said, the shyer I became, the worse things became. And while the feelings and desires I had for girls stayed the same and only increased as puberty hit with a vengeance, the opportunities did not present themselves. Matter of fact, my status only grew worse as high school came around, and I was basically relegated to the nerd core. My passion for D&D that I developed during high school only served to enforce that further. My point behind all of this is couple the intelligence, the nerdy obsessions with movies, uh, unpopular music, unpopular games. Uh, Video games at the time were still not commonplace with people other than nerds. Computers weren't popular with anybody besides nerds. D&D was definitely not popular with anybody besides nerds. Any kind of fantasy literature, being assessed with anything like that, was beyond the pale. So as I went on into college, it persisted. The few friends I did make that were female while I was attracted to them, made it plain that I was firmly in the friend zone. And I was more than happy to stay there, even though I was gaining confidence since it was no longer high school that I was dealing with. I was not dealing with the high school dynamics. I was finding out that in the real world, high school values and mores and whatnot really didn't matter as much, but the attitudes that I had hadn't changed so much. I was still reaching for the stars in my ideals. And it took me a while to put myself out there as far as socializing in a normal way. With normal people on a normal basis. I eventually did so, and what saved my loneliness factor was the advent of the online world. At the time, in the early to mid 90s, online chat rooms became the thing. Early AOL and other chat rooms were becoming the rage, and suddenly you didn't have to worry about looking somebody in the eye. And you really didn't have to worry about what they thought of you moment to moment. You didn't have to worry about what your voice sounded like, what they thought of your face, your body, whatever. You could hold a conversation and develop your conversational skills with members of the opposite sex on a regular basis. You could explore different aspects of your sexuality, your personality, everything. And it really brought me onto my shell a whole lot. It also let me know that you could escape the friend zone. And it's why I stopped settling for the friend zone. Once I realized that playing the nice guy and living in the friend zone all the time just to be social and friends and get to know people and get to know women and be blessed with their presence, because my self-esteem was so bad from all those years of awkwardness and shyness. It's why some people really don't need to go to high school. They need to go to a different realm of socialization, because high school isn't for everybody. High school is for some people, not for everybody, because it doesn't teach everybody the tools they need to learn. It taught me to withdraw. It took me almost 10 years to get out of it. The shell that it put me in. High school and middle school did. That's all I have to say about that.